What's up, everybody?
Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Business Show, coming live on Facebook and YouTube every week at 4 p.m. on a Thursday. Proudly sponsored by Quicksilver. No, I'm joking. Imagine it was.
Proudly sponsored by Willie and Eugene.
Proudly sponsored by hard work of Willie and Eugene. Yeah, guys, this is our give back project. We don't make anything out of it. We, like Willie jokes, it costs us money to work here. And then we run a mastermind group. So if you want to join our mastermind groups, $150. Yeah, the link's in the or below. Somehow Willie got the tech right. We're actually laughing about the tech beforehand, where one of the shows we did, we somehow our video minimized to the bottom because we had a presentation up, and then when we took the presentation away, it stayed there. So we did the whole show in like this little square in the bottom of the thing with a black screen in the background.
Tech's your friend, but when it goes wrong, it goes very badly wrong.
So just a quick introduction for any new viewers, people that don't know us. I'm Eugene van der Merwe. I'm a performance coach. And Willie, my business partner, the wool man, outsource CTO. CFO, my bad. Well, you can be the CTO as well if they pay you enough. So.
Yeah, well, you know what business is like. You do everything, right? CFO, CEO, CEO, CTO, CRO, whatever kind of O, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Business Show. Remember to like and share. Help us get the word out. We're doing this for purpose and to help entrepreneurs. So let's see if we can help a few more entrepreneurs by sharing it on your feed. Like and subscribe, and then I saw lately there's this little bell thingy on YouTube. If you click it, then it gives you a reminder when the next show pops up. Click the bell so you'll get notified. Willie, let's get into today's show. Who are we interviewing today, and what can the viewers look out for?
Lekker, guys. So super excited to introduce today's giant. It's someone that I've known for quite a long time. We actually got introduced through the Brands and Center of Entrepreneurship. Earl, his travel industry. He's got an international business, and one of the things that stand out for me is about Earl is the how quickly he actually managed to scale his business. So yeah, guys, so super excited to invite Earl to the show today. And remember, the purpose of the show is to learn from other guys that's actually reached a level of success. It's gonna allow you to just scale as well at a much faster level than what you would have been if you have to make these mistakes yourself. So without further ado,
I think what's also important is everyone's an expert in a particular field. So let's learn from other people that's got a specific expertise that we don't have. And then I just want to ask, guys, please don't judge us. This thing is live. We can't edit it. There's no editing or anything like this. So if we stuff up or blunder, put a smiley face in the comments or whatever. And then if you have any questions during the show, pop it in the comments. If you have anything to share, again, pop it in the comments. If you want to keep it interactive, let us know what we can do, what else you'd like us to do on the show. And then if you have someone that we can interview, pop them on the show as well. Let's see if we can get some famous people on here. If you know Tony Robbins, just pop his number in the comments, please.
I'm already famous, but you'll get some other famous people on here. Lekker, so without further ado, and the crowd goes wild.
Hi, hello everyone.
What's up, Earl?
Good. Welcome to the business show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks so much for joining us, and let's jump into the show. So, everyone that's viewing, just tell us a bit about Earl. Who's Earl?
Sure. Semi-famous. I'm on the show now, so getting discovered. No, I'm 38 years old, been in the travel industry for many, many years. Started as a travel consultant, worked my way up into senior management, started my own business about 7 years ago, and grown from there. Done a lot of traveling as well through the process. And quite keen to share my journey with you guys today. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're absolutely famous because now my mom knows about you and Willie's wife knows about you.
Lekker.
All our
So
loyal
some likes
followers.
there.
Oh. For anyone that wants your signature after the show, where can we get all of you?
Earl at what hashtag EK? I don't know how this works.
No, it's cool. So you got into the travel industry. I'm quite curious, how did that happen? Because I mean, travel is always a passion for us, and it's something in the back of our head, and everyone wants to travel, and they think freedom is traveling twice a year for a week at a time.
Yeah.
How did you actually create travel to be your daytime job?
Yeah, well, it starts all the way back when I finished school. Parents said I had to study something, so I picked travel. I was interested in travel, but it wasn't my dream career at that time. I don't think anyone really knows what they want to do at that age. Landed up doing a lot of traveling, got into hotels, landed a job at Flight Centre as a travel consultant, but for me it was a stepping stone to get cheap flights for our next trip overseas. But the bug bits, I did well. Moved up the ranks, became team leader, worked in sales team leader, and then an area leader for their corporate brand. And then moving on to start my own business. But each step doing quite well. Earning well, enough to save up to be able to start my own business. And been in my own business now for 7 years. And I'll share that journey with you shortly.
Oh,
Yeah. Lekker. So, Earl, you've been reasonably successful in your career as an employee within the travel industry. So we often ask these guys, when was that actual moments which you decided that being an employee is not good enough anymore? I'm going to start my business. Just share us a bit of that experience of how it came about. Cool,
man. So, I'd gotten quite far in the company. I felt like I'd reached my ceiling. But I've always had a need to do my own thing, and had my own ideas. And with large corporates, often you can't, there's a lot of structure for their own reasons. But I found that a little bit frustrating once I'd grown to that side. I had all the knowledge, and I wanted to try travel a different way. And eventually, I just gave myself the push. Started with nothing. Had heavy restraints of trade, so I couldn't really go into the market hard at that stage. Had to bide my time, kind of grow slowly at first. And those first 2 years, I think, as anyone knows, starting a business are the hardest. So, and it was tough. Yes, I got to a stage where I'd rented out every room in my house because I wasn't making enough money. I lent money from my parents. It was tough, but I made it through. And now today, I'm earning more than I ever did when I was employed. I've built a really great company. It's worth a fair amount. It's become global. There's different business units. It's just, it's doing very well. And when I look back at that tough stage where I thought very differently at the time, I thought, shit, this is it. I've made the wrong move. You have all those doubts. And to where I am today, looking back at that, I think, if only I could smack myself across the face and say, hey, bud, you're gonna be okay. Now things are good. Even with COVID, we hit a bump, but we restructured and we're doing well again. Good place.
Yeah, you brought up a few things. I think there's two really difficult parts in business. The first one is the beginning when you just start, because you've got all this fear and doubt and all that sort of stuff. I think I lost like 10 kilos during the first year of business. So it was a skinny face.
Yeah. Talk about sleep, eh?
Yeah, you don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't nothing.
It's tough.
And then the second part is the team. When you start employing a team, that's when business starts getting difficult again. Yeah. Before we get into that, I just have a personal question. I also really enjoy traveling, and Willie also enjoys the traveling. What is one of the coolest places you've been in the world, and why?
Sure. My two top picks, I'd say, would be Hawaii, definitely, just because it's insane. It's a different culture, and that's what I love about travel, is experiencing different cultures. Yeah, it's American, but they've got their own beach vibe, and it's phenomenal to go there. And the next one would be Cancun, or actually anywhere in Mexico. Again, the culture, like so friendly, different foods, tastes. Even their tequila's amazing. And I'm not really a tequila fan. Well, it looks like I am, but I'm not really. I don't enjoy the taste. I do drink it, but over there,
One
it's pretty
enjoys the
good.
taste, it's about the after effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've also traveled quite all over the world, and I would say one of my top 3 places was also Mexico. You know, I had the privilege of traveling there when I was 19 years old. I can't believe I spent like almost 3 months there and on literally like 500 pounds, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Wow.
roughing it. But I mean, I've also got that saying, you know, you can go wherever you want to go, but if you've not struggled a bit in the country, you don't actually get to know the people that's there, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's interesting place. I mean, I'd love to go and travel back to Mexico, but yeah. So,
Yes.
difficult business decision. Travel industry is probably the worst business to have. Well, was one of the businesses that was hit the hardest by this COVID thing.
Yeah.
What did you have to do? How did you have to innovate to get through this difficult period?
Sure. It has. It's been a tough journey. It's been close to starting the business. That tough. But funny enough, not as tough. But yeah, at first, I think it was a shell shock, like most. The biggest learning that I've learned from this is don't be a victim. Yes, COVID's here. Yes, business is tough, but we still choose how we respond to that. And even with COVID, there've been opportunities. Some of the opportunities we found within our business, local and Africa travel still open most of the time. So we focused on those markets, finding clients who travel within those markets. We've moved a lot more onto the online space. It's growing rapidly, even more so now with COVID. And we started a little independent brand. So really what that is, it's if someone's unemployed and they've worked in travel before, battling to find a job, they can go into our independent model. They run their own business, but we provide all the structure for them to do that. And obviously at the moment, there's a lot of people in the market who were in travel, battling to find jobs. This allows them to, if they do have a following, to leverage off that and start building up their own businesses. So paying back, but also an extra income for our business. So it's a bit of a win-win. And those have been some of the areas we've identified for potential during COVID. Yeah, to grow.
How are you making money out of the travel? Because most places are on lockdown, so they're not allowing any flights in. I think New Zealand did something where it's like a 2-year ban or something that they have now on travel or international flights.
So New Zealand.
So what are you selling?
You're right. New Zealand, Europe, Asia, America, they closed. Unless you're willing to
South America, North America.
Well, no, South America is open, but you don't want to go there. Not now. But Africa's open and local travel's open. We also our business focuses on corporate. So, you know, businesses have to continue. And some businesses are thriving in COVID. In fact, they're doing better because of COVID. So again, aligning us, getting customers like that who are doing well in COVID. And a lot of them have to travel. And even though a lot of places are closed off, like Singapore is one of them, we've got a client who gets special privilege rights to travel there. So there are ways around it in some places, in some of the countries, whether it's diplomatic or whether it's healthcare or whatever the case is. But there are some travelers. So we focused on those markets. Again, we haven't focused on what we can't do because that's not going to help us. We've looked at what we can do and where there is opportunity. So rather than focusing on countries we can't travel to, we focus on countries we can. And that's helped our business pick up. Look, we made horrible losses last year and we went through a really tough patch. But from January this year, we started making money again. And now we're having some of our best months since the lockdown. And we're growing each month again. So,
it's scarcity versus abundance thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big thing that we've seen is the guys that change, because opportunity will always be there. The money doesn't disappear. It's just changing to a different space. And if you look at how many people sat back and just blamed something outside of themselves and how many people actually made progress. So our business show launched in COVID. So myself and Willie were sitting at home with nothing to do. While you guys are talking about the Mexico, it makes me think. So, guys, I don't know who of the viewers have watched that Expedition Happiness on Netflix. Yes,
Yeah,
what a
how cool is that?
they buy like an old school bus and they keep the thing out and they build a kitchen and everything into it and they travel from Alaska. Is it really Alaska? And they travel all the way down
Alaska and then
to
all the way down to Mexico.
like a year period or something like this couple. And yes, absolutely cool. And we didn't even mention you sitting in the UK, but this is our cool techies. You're sitting in the UK having a cool conversation.
No, exactly. In the UK, it's where we launched our sales office just as COVID hit, or just before. Exactly, but that's business, man. Some things you can't predict. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, Earl, so I've known you for quite a while, and you're one of the entrepreneurs that I've worked with who I've seen that scale their businesses quite fast. What would you say is some of the things that you did to give you that opportunity to scale so fast over the last couple of years?
So look, over COVID, it was having honest conversations with our people, telling them where the business is. We're very open with our income, expenses, profits, even before COVID. So with our business, we'd have those regular conversations. We reduced salaries, which was our first step. And then when we saw that this was around to stay, we did have to retrench a couple people, unfortunately. But again, not waiting until the business has nothing. And we had a discussion as a team again about it, knowing, that some of the people we're discussing this with would have to go. And one of them was, look, do we reduce salaries more or do we let people go? And we were at a stage where we couldn't reduce salaries more. We'd gone as far as we can. So people were like, we can't live on less. So that then pushed us to the next step. And we restructured probably towards the end of last year. And then the beginning of this year, things started to pick up nicely. We've got a really powerful team and we've started to grow again, which is quite lucky.
Yeah. So just a quick one, which I've picked up now, Earl, you've, I think, mentioned it twice when we asked you, what did you have to do to continue getting revenue? And you also mentioned it now. It sounds like you make quite quick decisions in terms of business. How important is it for guys to make these quick decisions when the proverbial shit hits the fan?
Oh, it's extremely important. I mean, the first in with new technology or new things happening in the industry, always do the best. So even with the online space, online's been around for many years, and it's been growing over the years. But a lot of people I speak to today are like, oh, online's taking all my business. It's been taking your business for years. It's a growing industry. Get involved. Don't fight it. Be a part of it. And I think that's a tough one. Even this all go green and solar energy, it's going to be the next boom. So if you have an opportunity, get involved with it. If it touches your industry, look at what's up and coming. These things happen slowly. They don't happen overnight. So no one can tell you that they've been shocked or surprised. And rather than seeing it as a threat, take it as an ally. Yeah. Even COVID, we've taken on COVID. We've got COVID special travel advice and packages. So COVID's a horrible thing, but we've looked at ways we can use COVID to improve our business and our offering. So always look at challenges as opportunities as well, and move quickly. Don't waste time. Even with the retrenchments and all of that, we spoke immediately as soon as the lockdown was announced. We had a chat with the team, and then we had regular chats, and we tracked it quite regularly at first. I think we were having weekly chats at one stage, to see how things were going and monitor it with the team, and kind of take it as it comes.
Yes, it's very cool. It's some of the stuff that you mentioned. So this is a part from a business coaching perspective that I'm quite interested in, and I've been struggling with this concept for a while now. You see this trait of the successful entrepreneur. So I coach some of the guys I coach is 50, 100 million rand businesses, and some of the other guys are 5 million rand businesses. And you can see the difference, even from myself compared to some of the more successful guys, the difference in how they think, the way they take action, all that sort of stuff. And like you're mentioning, how quickly you take action. And the thing that blocks us from taking action is the fear. So we live in the future and all that sort of stuff. But it's almost as if some people just have the trait. Do you think people just have that trait to be able to make quick decisions and to move past even when there's fear, or is that something that someone can learn?
I definitely think it's something someone can learn. Look, I myself, I mean, I'm speaking wise words maybe now, but I've been through those bad places. I've been a victim myself, and I've learned, I've trained, I've coached myself, and I've been to coaching. But yeah, I've learned as I've gone. And the biggest thing is when you're in that victim mindset, you'll only see problems. You'll miss all the opportunities. So COVID, you'll see the news, you'll focus on all that terrible stuff. And there's another spike coming. We're doomed. Oh, there's another spike coming. What kind of opportunities come with that? You know, where are there possibilities? Stop focusing on the news. Stop focusing on the sparks. Be aware of it, but don't focus on it. Focus on where your business can succeed and what you can do. And you won't always come with the solution immediately, but keep looking for it. If you're not looking for it, you'll never find it.
There's that famous picture of that clear road, and there's one tree next to the road, and you've got this Ferrari that's hit that tree.
Yeah.
And then you kind of ask yourself, but how the hell did I end up there? And the answer is because you fixated on that, and that's why it fits. So you go where you kind of go where you focus on, eh? And and I mean, Eugene, we've worked with so many entrepreneurs throughout this difficult period. Myself as well. Now I've had clients who's not made it through this thing because they kept on focusing on the bad stuff, and they just could not pivot as quickly as what you guys did to get these things going. So it's a very, very important lesson, I think.
I just want to ask a follow-up to that as well, quick. So again, talking out of my own perspective, I've had times that our businesses are doing much better than what they did before COVID. There was hard times that we had to go through, and there's states that I found myself in where I was being in this victim mode. And I could clearly see when I'm in that victim mode, how I focus on negative things and I focus on problems and all that sort of stuff. When I'm in this positive mode, I focus on the abundance and opportunities.
Yeah.
You said that it's something that you can learn, and one of the areas is to focus on. What do you use for yourself when you go down in this victim mode or this negative mode or the scarcity mode, whatever you want to call it, to get you out of that state and just back into flow?
Well, the first step you mentioned now is being aware of it, because a lot of people aren't aware. So step one, be self-aware. Then you can start doing something about it, acknowledge it. And everyone's different. For myself, I'd exercise quite a bit to get my energy flowing. I'd turn off negativity, which normally means Facebook. We all think Facebook's very social, but it can be very negative. So Facebook's off, news off, turn off all the negative streams in my environment, because you're already in a bad place. You don't want to fixate on them. Stop watching the curve. Turn off as much negativity in your environment as you can. Start to exercise or move your body. And then find some space, and whether it's meditating, whatever, take a step back from your business and start to look at it again with fresh eyes. And that's often when you can start to identify more opportunities and a better direction. And reach out to people, your support structure, your team, your friends, your family. They're there to help you, and other colleagues within the business industry. They can give you advice and guidance. Ask for it if you need it. But yeah, those are some of the key tips that I can give for getting out of that space.
Yeah. And it's a process, so very
it takes time. Yeah.
Cool. Well, you quite often speak about your team. How important was the right team for this business over the last couple of years?
Sure. Well, the right team at any stage, from day one up until now,
the right team.
It's hugely important. Your business is your people, and that's what a lot of people don't see. We even go as far as sharing our income hugely with our people. So they end up being some of the highest paid people in the industry, but it's because I see them as shareholders, as business partners. And the travel group isn't my business, it's our business. And without them, there is no business. So I make sure that they're aware of that. There's appreciation, there's shared income, transparent structure. We all know what each other earn, income, expenses. And if we do really well, then we share more of that income with the team. But not only that, obviously you've got to have the right people to perform. So again, identifying if people aren't right for your business, have the chat with them. No one wants to be in a place that they're not doing well. And obviously try and help them. But if you come to a stage where you realize, shit, this person's abilities, natural abilities, aren't suited to this role, make the decision and make it quickly. And generally, if you have that open, honest conversation with the person, they're gonna happily move on because they won't be enjoying it either. But this, we don't do, look, we have the structure for it, but we don't do this performance management and all that nonsense. We do help. So we have structure where we help the team, but we've never had to go into performance management. Normally by that stage, the person's like, shit, we've tried everything. It's not working.
Yeah.
Let me try something else. We shake hands, part ways, and it's a nice parting. And then we left with really powerful people who do well. And that person gets to go on and find what their passion is. So I see it as a bit of a win-win with the right approach and the right discussions. Yeah.
Yes, that's so crucial because the team, I think, is the most important part of the business. So there's two things: it's the state or the mindset or whatever you want to use for that word of the entrepreneur, and then the second part is the team.
The team,
100%.
Because you can't do it by yourself. There's what's it? I can't remember what the book is called. But they say you have to do it by yourself and you can't do it by yourself. So you have to do it by yourself because there's no one else, but you can't do it by yourself. You have to find yourself with the right team. So the question I have for you is teams perform at a much higher state when they're motivated versus teams that's demotivated. So you get these two different cultures where one team is almost in this negative culture environment sort of thing, and then you've got other businesses, and we hear a lot about them on business books and stuff like that, where you've got this high-performing teams. What is some of the stuff that you put in place above just the financial things? I mean, from like retreats, or what else do you do to motivate the team?
Well, the first one we've kind of touched on now is finding the right people. So that definitely tick that box. Then the next thing would be we do incentivize our people. So depending on the income that's generated, the business does well, our people do well. We have open structure so they can see income, expenses. All our decisions are made as a team. Even our salary structure was discussed as a team. What do you guys want? What kind of structure works for you?
Quite different.
Yeah. What is the
do you have a job for me? I'm just asking.
But look, this has helped. We have the high. I mean, I've worked in big companies before, and I can honestly say we have the highest performers. So the business is making good money, and so are our people. It's a win-win, and I don't think we'd have that without the structure we have. So, so definitely incentivize. We have monthly catch-ups, so understand how your people are doing. And a common comment leaders will say, "Well, I speak to my team every day," but when you speak to people away from a desk, they'll speak to you more openly, and often, if there are any concerns, they'll speak to you then. They're not going to say in the middle of the team, "Look, I'm not happy with this or that." And these little catch-ups allow you to discuss openly about any concerns they may have, but also give them appraisals, talk through their performance, and make sure that they're on the right path for the month ahead. So definitely monthly catch-ups, incentives, and I think that open business structure and treating them like shareholders in the business, which they are, whether you like it or not.
Gonna read one of the Zappos or some book about Earl and all the stuff he did in his company and the 4 hours.
No.
Lekker. Earl, I think I've got one last question before we jump to the hot seat. So you've actually started the international business in amidst all of this stuff. How different is it from South Africa and the UK? How does the two business environments compare?
Sure. So it is a very different market. So definitely, if you are looking at going into a different market, do your research. We started doing our research at least a year before we opened up our offices. We landed a couple trial clients. We saw a couple new clients in the market before opening. I know there's a story, and I don't know if I can be as open, but I know Sorbet opened in the UK and it was a flop. They actually mentioned at the Branson Centre, and it was because they didn't do the market research. Don't think that replicating your South African model will work in a foreign market. So that's one thing. It takes a lot of investment, a lot of planning, but it's huge. I mean, the UK market, I can't remember now offhand, but it's like 20 times the size of the South African market.
Yeah.
So you're opening this huge new market. From the UK, you've got reach into Europe. So now that amount goes massive, especially with the way businesses are now. A lot of businesses are global, and putting yourself on that global stage from a powerful commercial hub will do you well. And with our structure, we just have a sales office in the UK. So we still service the clients from South Africa, have our operations in South Africa. Works for us because our running expenses are a lot lower than they would be in Europe or the UK. And it works for the clients because we can go in lower than what they're paying over in the UK and Europe. So a nice win-win. And even our phones, our emails, you'll see all of our addresses are .com. So people see us as a global business rather than UK or South Africa based. And our phone numbers for the UK clients are UK phone numbers, but they come through to our South Africa team. So making sure your structure sets you up to service the needs in the market, but also serve your structure that you have as a company.
Yes,
Like
that's
it.
good. It's quite
Thanks
a
so much for that advice.
But we're running out of time. I'd firstly love to get you back here in a year or so and just see how the business has changed. It's something I'm quite curious about. I'd love to see the internal workings of your business and how you apply everything. Sounds like just an absolutely amazing business.
Thank you.
And then before we get into the hot seat side of things, if guys want to get hold of you guys, or if they want to use your services, where can they do that? Or?
I think the easiest place would be to jump into our website. It's travel-group.com. I think it's on the screen now. But go onto the website. All our contact details are there, and you can reach out, get in contact with us. We specialize in business travel. So that's our space. We do have an online booking tool and a couple other odds and ends. But I think reach out to us if you are looking for business travel or you know someone who does. Please let us know.
Yes,
cool.
Let's get into the hot seat. So basically what this is at the end of the show, we ask 5 questions. We don't think about it. You don't have to explain yourself. We just ask 5 random questions. And what's that instant thing that comes to mind.
Cool.
So I'll go first because I'm quite interested.
Go for it.
So if you're in the travel, what is one city that all entrepreneurs should visit?
Sure. I'd say London. I'd say London is one of the big ones. It's a financial hub. Look, it depends on your industry, but London's a great city to visit. It's really diverse in business and people. It's a cultural hub, but it's a good place. A lot of businesses have huge main office or regional offices, like EMEA offices there. So it's a good place to start, and the time zone's similar, which is important if you are having that link between another country and South Africa. So I'd definitely say London would be a good place, but outskirts of London if you are looking for office space, because otherwise you'll see the rent is crazy. So that's what we've done. We're in a little town outside London, but its commuter distance is reasonable. Yet the rent's a lot more affordable, and living's a lot more affordable.
Awesome.
Good. Awesome. So, Earl, tell me, what's one of your limiting beliefs?
Limiting beliefs. What do you mean? I don't know. I don't like that goes against my core values. I don't know.
That's
limiting beliefs.
That's also an answer.
I just think if you do have a challenge in your life or an obstacle you can't overcome, and look, there are some things like COVID. COVID's here, guys. You can't change that. So don't focus on it. Focus on other things. And if you do, if there's something that's limiting you, look for other opportunities. Don't focus on it. I think that's all I'd say about that.
So I think swapping around to the positive.
Yeah.
Just the first thing that comes into your head. What's your number 1 5-year goal?
Taking the business more global. So we've got the footing in the UK now. We're looking at growing quite aggressively in the online space and the self-booking tool. We're investing a lot into that. So I think in 5 years' time, we'll have a lot bigger global presence. Also in travel, you need certain rights to ticket in different countries. So we've been focusing a lot on that. But yeah, I think over the next 5 years, we're going to focus much more on growing globally rather than just where we have offices. Because in this day and age, you can service people in any country. Yeah. So taking us global in a big way.
Yeah, lekker. I mean, the online space has changed business quite rapidly, and I think that's one of the things we can say thank you for COVID. Is it's just pushed everyone, or the people that was open for it, to just take that leap of faith and just push on to that place.
Yeah,
So, your last question.
Yes.
One personal trait that you would say have the biggest impact on your future success?
Biggest traits. I think it's definitely your mindset. And you guys mentioned it earlier. It happens to everyone. So, everyone, I think even these motivational speakers, we all have bad places that we go to at certain times, especially with COVID and the effects. And it's being aware of that and bringing yourself back. So, yeah, but the biggest thing is being aware of it, because I see a lot of people who don't realize that they're in that space. And that's very dangerous, because you just go further down that rabbit hole, and it's a terrible place to be. So yeah, I'd say that's it.
I think one last question from my side.
Yeah.
If someone had to write a book about the rest of your life,
yes,
what would it be called?
God. I think I think anything's possible. Anything's possible. Just with the right mindset, the right team. You guys have really focused on the key topics, which is awesome. So good messages to put through to people. But anything is possible. You've just got to have the will and the drive to do it.
Yes. Well, it's been awesome. Out of time. I'd really like to get you back on the show. It's been an awesome show. Your mindset, the way you think, the way you take action, and you actually apply the things, and you've given some really cool tips for guys starting out in their businesses, which is just our purpose is trying to give back to the community, to just see if we can help the community out and help small businesses scale to the next level, or even just start. The most important thing is to start. So just thanks to you for sharing your time and sharing your wisdom with us, and sharing your wisdom with our viewers. And then to all the viewers, thanks for joining our show. The reason we do this is for you. So thanks for pitching up, and thanks for supporting us, and thanks for watching our show. And remember to like, subscribe, and share, and that little bell button thingy, go click that thing.
Okay. Yeah, just all from my side as well. Thanks so much for taking our time to come and teach these viewers. And yeah, we'll have you on the show in a year's time and see how the business is growing.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cool, guys. Cheers. See you next week.
Guys.